And there you see the Frankenstein cookies made by the Yarbers, or a friend of the Yarbers. Served at the Yarbers hot dog picnic. There's a brontosaurus. I don't call them brachiosaurus, tail broke off. They're brontosaurus. That's the way I was raised as a kid. It's always been brontosaurus. I'm not going to call it brachiosaurus because that's politically, quote, correct. I don't care. Brontosaurus sounds better. It was brontosaurus in those old dinosaurs, like the Lost World. It was a brontosaurus. That's what Claude Rains called it, I think, in the Lost World remake in the 60s, like 1960. They're shown on Family Classics back in the 60s with Fraser Thomas in Chicago. He stole Family Classics, and they showed the Lost World a bunch of times. They showed Day the Earth Stood Still. That's the first movie I saw in Family Classics back when I was like 5 years old, back in 1961. Great movie. And great music, great direction by the late, great Robert Weiss. Yeah. And then there's a bat cookie made by Yarber's friend, Brontosaurus. There's another Brontosaurus, and he's a behemoth, and he's battling another behemoth, a hippopotamus there. Who's some people think is a behemoth. Behemoth really means dinosaur. In Job chapter 41, it says, "Behold now behemoth, which I made with thee." And it says, he swallows up a whole brook. He can swallow a whole brook of water. You know, something like that. And he's so big, you know. And I think it says the earth trembles under his feet or whatever. You know, the earth shakes under his weight, you know. And then in chapter 41, it talks about Leviathan. It says his teeth are sharp like razors or whatever. Something like that. Smoke comes out of his nostrils. Fire comes out of his mouth. Leviathan. And there's other verses in the Bible talk about sea monsters. In Psalms chapter 103, I believe it is, or 101. I think it's 103. Says the sea monsters. Sea monsters is used in Psalms 101 or 103, chapter 103. And then also it's mentioned, I think, in Lamentations, I think there's something about sea monster or something. But behemoth is Job chapter 41 and verse 15. Or 40:15, excuse me. Chapter 40 and verse 15. And in Job chapter 41 is Leviathan. And the whole chapter, that's not like a comparison of the devil, whatever. That's talking about an actual creature that God made. Duh. Anybody reading that knows that's what it's talking about. So don't say, oh, that's just a way of describing Satan. Well, maybe so, but that's all. That verse is about an actual creature that lived. It existed. Dinosaurs existed. And behemoth means dinosaur. It doesn't mean hippopotamus. A big difference there. Can a hippopotamus swallow a whole brook of water? No, it's not big enough. It's a gigantic, huge creature. Probably a brontosaurus. Goes down, swallows that, you know, swallows a lot of water. Those things drink a lot of water. That's why they died out. They drank and ate everything that was on the planet. So they just died maybe. I don't know. They could have been here 10,000 years ago. Maybe it wasn't millions. I think it probably was millions of years ago, but I think it's possible dinosaurs might have been here like 10,000 years ago. Because I don't think the Earth... I have a funny feeling the Earth isn't as old as they say. I think that the Earth might be like 10,000 years old maybe, you know. Because, I mean, you look at the Bible and all, it talks about it, but is it really millions of years old like these paleontologists think, or are they being tricked? Maybe it looks like it's millions, but I believe the Earth could be millions, you know, hundreds of millions of years old, just like I was learning in Earth Science, Mr. Green at Maine South. I believe so. I believe that dinosaurs could have been here 135 million years ago, the Cretaceous period, to like, I think it's like 165 to 135 to 65 million years ago was the Cretaceous period. And I think Jurassic period was 135 years to 225, I think. And I think 225 until like 300 or something was the something like that, was the Triassic period, or the something like that. Triassic period, I think it was. And then there was, like I say, Jurassic was like 225 million years to like 135. And then Cretaceous period was 135 to 65 million years ago. And then at around 65 million years ago, and before that, you had other creatures like the bird monsters, the big bird creatures with big, strong beaks like cleavers. They're meat eaters. They're dangerous. They were like the dinosaurs. I think dinosaurs might have come from birds, you know, because they had feathers on them, whatever. Okay, enough of my talking on dinosaurs. But how do you like these cookies? Aren't they cool? Oh, man. There's an elephant trying to attack the hippopotamus. Or he's smelling them with his trunk. It stinks around there. Hippopotamus stink. Yeah. And then there's a bat with Frankenstein. And the brontosaurus looking at Frankenstein like, I didn't know that he was made when I was made. I don't remember seeing dinosaurs that looked like that.